So today we are back on Outback content. Today's project is to do an exterior clean. I need to tape up that back window before I do that, so I'll need to get the old tape off, and then I have some new tape, and I'll put probably a trash bag over it just for the time being. It needs sealed up anyway, so nothing else gets inside, but I'm going to, once I get that taped up and everything, I'll put you guys on time lapse and show you like just this panel, and try to get the interior set, or not the interior, the engine bay, and then around the roof rails and stuff. But I am going to try to find an all-purpose cleaner. I thought I had some purple power that I could cut, and I'm gonna see if I have anything inside the house to maybe cut down and see if I can get some of this stuff off. I think it's going to be a really satisfying video, and then once it dries, we'll be able to get a good feel of what the car actually looks like. And obviously you saw the last video of me trying to start it, and it was missing coil packs and spark plugs on the one side. So stay tuned for more of that. But right now we're going to just work on that. I'll have to probably do another video. I don't have time today to do the inside, but the inside's going to be really satisfying because it's really gross. So let me get this back window taped up. Nobody wants to see that, and get the old tape removed and see if I can find an all-purpose to spray the whole thing down in. So I'm going to throw this in with the detail video for the exterior. I know I wasn't supposed to do the inside yet, but I moved the spare tire from, or not spare tire, full size from the back seat, and there's a bunch of ants. So they're really slow because it's cold. I'm going to, I guess I'm sweeping this up. I wasn't planning on doing it yet. I taped the window up. I was going to try to spray all the door jambs and do the outside and just try to stay away from, and Safelite wanted $400. This is better than Safelite. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna sweep those up, and then I guess maybe just sweep up the interior too. If I do sweep up the inside, I'm not doing a full detail because I wanted to save that for another video, and I honestly don't know if I'll have time. But I need to work on getting the hatch open in this thing too, and both key fobs are dead. So, small disclaimer, I will try to get as much of this as I can. I'll show you the panels before and after. Sorry, I'm letting the pressure washer warm up before I use it. I am not a detailer. This is some all-purpose cleaner that I have, a brush that I found, and I'm gonna start with the roof and work my way down on it. Like I said, I'm not a detailer, so don't criticize. So, as you can tell, she is starting to look like a car again. I'm trying to do time lapse the best I can, and I'm trying to stay away from this window because my tape job was not good. But I still got to do that and the whole other side and the engine bay. But The back of it looks really, really good. And I haven't scrubbed anything. This is just pressure wash, and I'm gonna, once I get all the heavy stuff off, I'll go back over it with the degreaser again and I'll actually hand wash it. But up top, it looks really, really good. That's odd, I haven't did, but, and of course the hood. So I messed up some of the footage. I actually thought I was doing slow-mo and I didn't. I think I only got 1 or 2 clips, but let me show you what everything looks like up to this point. And then body's actually in better shape than I thought. There's probably gonna have to wash this thing like 3 or 4 times because I see stuff I missed. But this is just to get a look at the body. Did notice back here, which I couldn't tell before, there's a little ding. That's minor. Something is wrong with the fuel door. I don't know if it's the bracket is bent or what's going on, but it does clean up very, very well. There's stuff, of course, every time I pressure wash along the body molding, stuff still comes out, but underneath looks good. That I'll have to tackle here in a minute, but I'd like to get the whole body before I start doing that. But everything looks pretty good. All right, well, time to tackle the windshield, the hood, some of the engine bay. Like I said, I had to put a glove here and down in the spark plugs, but time to get this cleaned up, and then we'll see. I still got to do the other side and see if I have time to do the interior, but it's pretty bad on the inside, and now that I know there's ants living in there, it's even worse. So let me get some of this cleaned up. I'll show you what it looks like before I pressure wash it, and then I'll have to pressure wash all the junk off the clean part of the car. So this is a multi-day video. Obviously you saw I did the outside first. I tried to start it the other day before I cleaned it, and there was 0 compression, which there's going to be another video posted, but essentially there was no plugs or coil packs in it. So watch that video, you'll get the whole story on the motor. But it has been pressure washed. I'm sure it could use a little bit of paint correction because it's sat neglected for how many years, but overall the body on it is really, really good. Also, huge fan of that sunroof. So as you can see, the body on it minus the gas door. There's something wrong with the hinge, but today's project, I'm gonna work on the inside, but I am gonna try to get some of this tape residue off the car. I think it shouldn't be that hard. And then I need to set up an appointment with Safelite to have them put a new back glass in. So I did finally put a battery in this, and I was able to get the hatch open. Both remotes need reprogrammed, but I never really got to pressure wash in the jams because I couldn't get the hatch open because of the battery being dead. But this should show you roughly how long this thing has been sitting, because it just has covered in bees. So I haven't did anything to the inside, and I'm gonna have to probably wear a mask, but everything pretty much is coming out, and I am scrubbing the car. I actually might pull the carpets completely out and scrub the floors. I don't know yet, but the smell of it inside is pretty bad. So let me do a walk around, and then I'll show you everything. And then, like, even on the door panels, there's mold. I could show you this, but it's really not doing justice for the smell. I am going to get probably an all-purpose cleaner today and see if I could scrub it. I think
think most of this will come out. It's not like anything's in bad shape. Nothing's really tore other than that little bit there. But driver's seat was worse, but from us getting in and out, we pretty much wiped the mold off essentially. So as you can tell, it's up there. Passenger seat's real bad. Let me shut the door. But overall, for a $300 car, I can't be mad at the body on it. Underneath is clean. Now, some stuff like suspension parts has a little bit of rust, but it's an '08. We're in the rust belt state, and on top of that, there's 160,000 miles. This is where it gets really, really gross. So, like I said, the carpet, I think there was also a pet in here. I don't know if that's fly guts on the door. It's pretty gross. And then, of course, this was the side where the window was open, and I'm curious to see if I can bring this back. I might have to see if I can find some like leather conditioner or something when I run to Walmart, because this side is for sure definitely seen some stuff, but the seats are still soft. Like they're not bad, but this has, you know, green mold there, and it should be really interesting. So first step, I got to disconnect the battery since there is airbags in these seats. I'm probably going to touch both terminal ends together, make sure it drains any and all power in the system. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull seats out, and probably going to have to run to Walmart, and I got to run to the bank anyway. So let's see what it looks like after. I got to figure out how to pull the back seats out. The front ones I know for sure. But yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so front seats are out, as you can tell. I'll walk over there and show you the seats. There's actually a pudding lid stuck to the side of the one. And on this side, there was a mud dauber's nest. So seats are real easy to get out. Like I said, unplug the battery. The bolts are 14. The only thing is with the air plug or the airbag connector, it did take me a little bit of time to figure it out. Like I said, I had an '09 Legacy. They're the same, but it's probably been 2-ish years since I pulled the seats out. So what you're supposed to do is push this. There's a green tab on the other half of the connector you're supposed to slide up, and then you just pull it out. So it fought me a little bit, but I did make some money back on the car. I'll see how much is left, but as you can tell, it is really, really gross in here. And I'm not even sure what that is. I don't know if that's... I have no idea what that is back there. But I think all of this will come out. Now I got to figure out how to get the rear seats out. I'm pulling both top and bottom out. And then back here, all this stuff's got to come out. I'm going to throw the leaves away. I didn't realize I had the cover for the back, so I'm sure there's mold on that too. I'll have to probably stretch it out, and I'll scrub it with some all-purpose cleaner, but this is pretty much what it looks like. So I gotta get all these leaves out and more money. There you go, track number 2 if anybody's interested, but it's pretty gross in here. Thankfully there's no mess in there. I don't want to show anybody's address. I will be changing the cabin filter in this. They're super easy to do, and they're cheap. I'm going to say it's probably never been done. The one on my Legacy was extra gross. So, but these are the seats. This is the passenger seat. There's something delicious down in there. So they're in really good shape, other than they're just moldy. This is the cleaner of the two because we have wiped it off with our clothes. There's a snack pack container lid if anybody's interested. I did notice one thing about both of these seats, which I'm a little disappointed with, I guess, but not that anyone's ever going to see it. But I guess from it having moisture in the car, the rails and stuff, they slide easy, but it looks kind of ugly. So I might try to brush some of that off and hit it with a light coat of black paint. Both front seats are like that. The rear of the seat isn't, but just both front bolt holes. I don't know if it's because like water from your shoes and stuff when you get in, or from the window being out, but it's not a big deal. No one's really gonna see it, but there's spiders living up underneath here that have bit me already. It's a good time. So let me get the rear seats out. I'll show you what it looks like underneath there, and then I'm probably gonna have to run to the bank and get some cleaner, but once I get back, we'll start scrubbing everything. So, small update. Sorry if you can't hear me. I am wearing an N95. I knew there was ants in the car. I just didn't know how bad there was. So, I picked up the leaves and picked up the seat, and this is what we got. That is all ants. So, seat needs to come out, and I'm gonna vacuum that up before they get anywhere. And then I guess I'm gonna have to put an ant bomb in there. That's wild. So I gotta pause here for just a few. I need to run to Walmart and get some like all-purpose cleaner. And as you could tell, there's a bunch of ants. I knew there was some ants. I didn't realize there was that many. I spent 10 minutes probably sucking them up, and there is still more. So I was unsure if I was gonna pull the carpet, and I'll be honest, it probably looks like I'm gonna end up pulling the carpet and everything else, because as I was trying to suck the ants up, they were running in all directions. So that, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get some kind of bug killer for them. So that's where I left off. So the back seat, all you do is, there's a hole there and there's a hole there. Just lift around that area and it just pops up. You got to be somewhat forceful with it, but looks like the back seat is just held in by those two. Maybe you got to take the ends off. I don't know. I'm going to figure out when I get back, and then clean this mess out. And I'd like to get those tires put on eventually. That way I can put the spare tire and stuff back. Plus it doesn't really roll that easy right now. I can't get air in two of them. One of the valve stems is broke, and the donut doesn't really hold air. So this is the bottom of the seat. There was a little bit of water there. As you can tell, there's still ants crawling around on it. So I'm probably gonna leave this interior out for a couple days. Let everything dry once I scrub it. Make sure that there's nothing else in here, like bugs and stuff. I've already been bit on my arms like 4 times by spiders. So plus, if this is gonna be a daily driver eventually, my kid's gonna be in here, so his safety is kind of more important than just a video. So let me run to Walmart. I'm gonna pull the back seat out, pull everything out there. Up next is probably the console, and then I'll probably have to start popping the trim off. I did do a little tiny test area right there. I know I was supposed to wait. I was just curious to see how good it would look. So I think the carpet, you won't even be able to tell. Plus, if I get it out of the car, I'll be able to really, really detail it. And if there's anything underneath the carpet on the floor, I can scrub the metal. So hopefully that helps with smell, because it is getting better smelling in here, but it still stinks. So probably next time I get it out to move it, I'll pull the seat belts out as far as they'll go and shut the door on them and then pressure wash them. But it's really not in bad shape. It's just weather got to it. If I wish they would have did something like a car cover, anything. This wasn't it. So, all right, well, stay tuned. I'll be back here shortly. So I'm working on pulling the back seats out still. The only thing I've done was pull this stuff out. I'll show you the bolts here in the front here in a minute, but before I do that, I want to show you I found some more ants. This is why everything's coming out. So I'm gonna try not to disturb them so I can get them, but there's a little tiny clip there. This piece just pops up, and there you go. Whole bunch. So I really wasn't trying to pull all this out, but I guess I don't have a choice, because it's like every time I sweep them up, they just go to a different hiding place, the ones I don't get. So I guess all this stuff's coming out. Needs cleaned anyway, so I'm gonna set you up on time lapse, and I guess we're gonna try to get these guys sucked up. So a lot of this I'm doing off camera. Obviously, if you want to know how to pull the interior out of this, you can either figure it out or you can Google it. It's not really that difficult. I did accidentally break one clip on this side, so it was kind of a learning lesson. I didn't know there was a screw in it, but I'm glad I honestly did pull everything out. I'm sure some of this is probably the reason it smells the way it does. So I have just a stockpile of parts over here to put this thing back together, but like this, for example, I don't know if, I'm just gonna assume that's some mold. And then of course, down in, oh, hold on, way too far, way too zoomed in. That's an ant's nest. There's more up there. And like I said, every time I keep sweeping them. So what I wanna do is keep sweeping them up, and then I'm gonna probably work from the back of the car forward. I need to get, I'm running out of room to put stuff. So I was a little worried about the weather getting into this car. There is a little bit of surface rust and stuff there, but it's nothing bad. I can deal with that. Now I'm glad. Looks like a little bit ran down there, but again, nothing, no holes, none of that, no structural damage. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm gonna try to get some more of these swept up, and then hopefully, I remember how all this goes back together, but I'm gonna sweep it up, and then I'm gonna dilute some. I got purple powder today. I'm gonna dilute that. I'm gonna clean all of the sheet metal that I can reach. That way, hopefully it kills any of the smell, any of the mold, and it'll look better. So I'm gonna finish pulling this side out now that I know how to do it without breaking anything. And then I also pulled that pillar out on the other side. So, and that one had tape residue and everything on it. So I'm gonna finish pulling this apart and set everything out. I'm gonna sweep back here, and then I'm probably gonna do the windows too while I'm back here. And then I'll set you up on time lapse once I actually get that part out, and then we'll sweep and clean everything. And then unfortunately, there's still all that mess up there. I am pulling the carpet probably. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It needs cleaned. So hopefully this video is not going to be that long, but I did a lot of stuff off camera, so this wasn't like a 10-hour video. So sorry I'm not recording some of this stuff, but I'm glad I decided to pull the interior out of this car. It was absolutely the right decision. So underneath here, I started sweeping up more ants. There was probably, I don't know, at this point, I can't even tell you how many I've sucked up, but I was worried about what was underneath the carpet, and there you go. Actually, let me get a light for you, because you gotta fully appreciate this. I don't know if I can do this with both hands. There we go. In case you're wondering, that's all ants. So let me continue pulling stuff out and sweeping them up. So I'm trying to do as many updates as I possibly can. Like I said, I don't really feel like anybody wants to watch me take this apart. They probably only care about how the outcome is. So underneath the carpet, there's probably, I don't know, a billion ants in this car. I haven't cleaned anything back here, and I can't even keep up with them. So at this point, I'm just going to finish taking the rest of the interior out. Not the dash, but all the carpet and the kick panels. And as you could tell, the center console is all out. These cars are pretty easy to work on. Plus, I had that Copart Legacy. This one's a little different because it's a wagon, but it's the same thing. So hopefully I can get all these ants out of here, and I might clean everything with Purple Power, and then I have some home defense that I might just spray the living hell out of everything, and then I'm gonna have to go back and clean it again. I will tell you this much. 90% of the smell is already gone just by pulling stuff out. So I'm hoping the more stuff I clean and wipe down and disinfect, hopefully this car doesn't have a smell. My Legacy had a weird smell too, and it didn't have any windows that were broke out. I don't know if it's just an old Subaru smell, but I'm excited to get this thing up and running. So I'm going to continue pulling stuff out. I guess I got to work around the radio. I forget if I have to pull the radio out or not, but I'm going to work on that. And then I got to unbolt both front seat belts, and I'm hoping I don't have to pull the B-pillar plastics, but I might. So we'll work on that. But anyway, the carpet has to come out. I can't see all the ants, and I've already swept up all of their relatives. So I'll keep you posted. All right, so this is just a test area. I wanted to take a break because my back was hurting. I sprayed some diluted Purple Power in the trunk area, or hatch area. I'm sorry, not trunk. And I'm gonna wipe it down. And I got a little brush, and I'm gonna try to agitate some of this, what I assume is mold, off the metal. Thankfully, metal, that's easy to clean. I will probably have to clean this 7 more times, but I at least want to see if this is going to start to bring some of the smell out of this car. So again, I'm not a detailer, don't criticize me. I'm doing the best that I can. I don't really know if it's going to get sudsy. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect either. The whole point of this is just to kill any mold and get rid of the smell. And I can tell you, the smell is already way better in here. That goes there. I actually think it's taking some of the mold up too. Let me get a little more spray on some of the body lines. And then I'll go back and wipe everything up. And I can say this much, I do think the dilution is too strong. I only put like a quarter bottle in. I was gonna put a half, and I'm glad I didn't. But I think it's gonna clean everything up. And hopefully the ants hate it because they're getting evicted. And I think after this video, I'm gonna have to spray my whole garage because they're probably gonna try to leave this car. Okay. I do think some of this seam sealer is probably holding some smell. It's not, it's porous and it can actually hold stuff, so. This is the area I was real worried about. Yep, it's gone. I'm gonna have to use old rags for this. But this is just a sampler. I wanted to get rid of all the odor, all the smells, hopefully kill all the ants. And I think Purple Power's the ticket. It was $6 for a big jug, so let me get some of this cleaned up. I'll show you what it looks like afterwards so you don't have to watch me scrub, and then I need to get back to the carpet. Okay, like I said, I just want to do a little sample. with the purple power and scrubbing back here. I was worried about the seam sealer that's actually in the spare tire well. It was a shade of black, which I'm assuming is mold. There's still a little bit over there. I want to see if I can scrub some more, but it smells so much better in here with just doing the little bit that I did. Of course, I still want to get all up there and along there, but just for now, I just wanted to do just a sample. I need to get back to pulling the carpet, and I'm trying to avoid it. I don't want to. But I know there's probably a whole colony of ants underneath there. So, plus I really honestly think it'll help with the smell. So it's worth it. It's a bunch of work, but it's gotta be done. So I'm gonna get back to pulling this, and then hopefully the next video that I do is the carpet will be out, or if I get a portion of the carpet out, I'll see how bad the ants are. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do my best to get this carpet out, and well, it's ready to come out as far as I know. But hopefully, I'm gonna try. I don't want to zoom in too much, but I'm trying to keep it in a way so we both can see what's actually underneath the carpet. Actually, I see 2 more clips I need to get. Other than that, it is, I think, ready to come out. I'll show you the driver's side seat belt. It's really disgusting, so I guess I'm glad that I stripped the car down to this point. But let me get that clip out. I don't know if there's, yeah, it's just on the passenger side. Let me get that clip out, and I'll start pulling the carpet back. And I've done good about not breaking anything other than 1 clip in the back. So let me feed this around there. I think we're ready to go. Oh yeah, there's water up front. Make sure. Okay. Oh yeah, it needs dried out. I actually didn't think there was water left in here, but I guess from the window being down, I guess it actually leaked in. So, there we go. Get it around the clutch pedal. Okay. And then just work. What's that? Why is that stuck? Maybe it isn't ready to come out. All right, hold on a minute. All right, so take 2. I didn't realize the carpets have this white plastic clip that is stapled and glued to them, and the door sill rubber actually keeps it in. So I peeled that back, and we're gonna start to try to peel it back. So, like I said, I'm curious to see how bad it is underneath, but I'm gonna start on the driver's side. It really doesn't matter. I'm just gonna crawl in here. that's nice. There they are. Around the seat belt. Okay. This is gonna have to probably be restapled to the carpet, which isn't the end of the world. There is a little bit of standing water, but there's no rust, so. Okay, so. Oh, that just ripped off, I think. I gotta feed the harness through, so let me finish feeding the harness through the carpet so I can get this up, because the phone's actually in my way right now, and then I'll show you a video of all the ants underneath there. It's not as bad. I think I got the majority of them. Okay, so carpet's all out. Like I said, the little plastic clips that snap down in there, they're probably gonna have to be glued or stapled or both back on. There's a little bit of water, which is probably why it stinks. As you can see, all the little black speckles are ants. Those look mostly dead. So looks like I actually got majority of it. There's a little bit of water up here. And then, so I'm gonna sweep this out and try to use some purple power on it and try to get this as clean as I can. And then I'm probably gonna stop for today, I think. I've been at this for like 5 hours trying to remove all the interior and clean stuff up. And I haven't actually got to clean anything other than the back floor. So I'm going to sweep all this out, get as many ants as I can get out of here, and then I'm probably gonna have to try to clean the seat belts in this car, because I don't know if that's dead skin or what it is, but it's kind of gross. So the hard part's over. Now it's just time to clean everything and then see if we can get it to smell good. So I'm happy with the floor pans. A little bit of surface rust from the water where it was sitting, but I'm gonna leave the carpet out for a couple days because it's gonna take a while to dry that carpet out anyway. And I'm gonna try to get some of the padding. I'll probably try to clean the padding too and let all this dry so we can get some of the smell out. These are the plastic pieces I was talking about. Some of the staples failed on them. It looks like to me they're glued, but this is currently my garage. This is the entire interior to a Subaru Outback. So she's naked. This would be a good time to make it a rally car, except it's going to be a daily driver. So let me get all this cleaned up. I'll put you on time lapse, probably in the hatch area since it's clean. And then I'll start sweeping it and then see what happens whenever I purple power everything. I do have to help my brother work on his car, so I'm gonna have to put the seats back in so I don't get an airbag light. So those are probably gonna be the first two things other than the floor that gets cleaned. So let me get the floor done. I'll scrub the seats really, really good. That'll make a good video on those because the passenger seat is absolutely disgusting. And then we'll put it back in. I did pull the cabin filter out while I had the dash report. And you can't even, it's completely packed full of stuff. So that's on the list too. They're cheap. You can get them for like $7 online. But let me stop talking. I'll set up a time lapse and you guys can watch. All right, like I said, I'll probably have to re-wipe everything down a couple times, but this is at least the driver's side. It's not perfect. There's a couple spots that's still kind of bad. I'm I'm still gonna have to clean like up around the console area and stuff, but the floor doesn't have anything on it anymore, and it doesn't stink in here anymore. So the more I clean it, the better it gets. So like I said, it's not perfect, but it's not bad either. So let me walk around and show you the other side real quick, and then I'm gonna sweep that out, and I'm gonna start cleaning both seats because I do have to move the car out. So this side's a little worse, obviously. So there is standing water right here, and of course all the dead ants and stuff. I am starting to see less. I don't know if they're hiding somewhere else that I can't see, or if I actually killed them. Tonight, when I'm done messing with this car, I'm not putting the carpet back in. I'm gonna spray home defense in here and around the whole entire car so they're not in my garage. And hopefully that will take care of them because I don't wanna pull this back out again. Okay, so inside is all the way wiped down. There's a few random ants, but don't worry, I got something for them here shortly. I gotta put the rubber door sill back on. Smells a lot better. So that's a good start. And the body, the seam sealer is clean. So like I said, it looked like it was mold to me. If nothing else, it was dirty and it was clean. That spot is just like the top of it that peeled up. It's not bad. I have to move the car, so these need to be cleaned. So I'm gonna try a little test area on probably the driver's seat because it's already the cleanest. And then we'll do a time lapse. I'll set you up so we can clean that one. I think these will come back. I got some good leather cleaner. I'm sure these are gonna need to be cleaned multiple times, but I like these. These are better than the regular. They're kind of, I guess they're Recaras. I'm not sure. They're better than the regular Legacy or Outback seats since it's the XT. So these are definitely getting cleaned up. So I don't even know what part it is. I'm still working on cleaning the interior of the car up. This is a multi-day video. I didn't expect to find a billion ants in the car. So tonight's project, it's dark outside, is to clean the carpet. I'm gonna clean the top. I'm probably gonna sweep everything, and then I might flip it over and try to clean the back side of it and some of the padding. And then flip it back over, probably put it up on some of the totes. We're getting ready to move eventually, and then clean the top part. As you can tell, this is the passenger side of the car, and right there is the darker area. That is probably a little wet, but it also looks like it's stained the same way right there. So dog hair back there. This whole thing's gross. Now, these plastic clips are kind of what hold it in on the side. They are gonna need re-stapled, and if the carpet is gonna dry before I put it back in. So before I put it back in, I might even glue it. It looks like there was a couple pieces of glue. So that's tonight's project. I'm going to first sweep it. I'm gonna set you up on a time lapse just to sweep it and then flip it over so all the stuff isn't on my garage floor. And then I'll start scrubbing the backside. I will say this. obviously I had to put the seats back in, and I still somehow ended up with an airbag light. I've heard it's the one that's up here in the ceiling, the one that tells you if the passenger, apparently there's a solder that goes bad. But just for a quick clean, I wanted to put some leather detailer on it since it hasn't seen any, and I cleaned them with Purple Power. They turned out great, but before they go back in, they are getting cleaned again, and they're also getting steamed. Everything's getting steamed in this car. I've put my face inside this car now, and I don't smell anything at all inside of the car. However, the rest of the garage, because that and the seats, the garage actually smells like the car now. So I think the biggest concern I'm going to have is the back seat. I don't know how much that it actually soaked into the fabric. I guess we're going to find out. I'm not trying to part or find another interior for this car. But if I have to, I have to. So anyway, let me get everything set up. I'll put you on a time lapse and we'll start working on this. So this was just with a quick sweep. I'm gonna put it back on time lapse, and I have a drill brush, and I don't know, I'm kind of scared to use the Purple Power. I'm gonna see if I have any kind of carpet stuff, but I'm gonna do that. Get the drill brush out to bring all the rest of the junk to the surface, and then I might clean this side. I know it's counterproductive, flip it over, clean the back side, and then re-clean the front side. I'm trying to get as much smell out of this stuff as I can. Okay, so came off time lapse. Um, I have a cheap, I think they came from Harbor Freight. They're a drill brush attachment. I swept it the first time. I sprayed that, although I have a glass spray bottle. That's really good for taking, I know it's meant for pets, but it's really good for taking all odors out. So I'm going to put you back on time lapse, and I'm going to go ahead and do the first run of the carpet scrubber. I was kind of worried because it's pretty cold here, but my garage is staying pretty warm. So hopefully by tomorrow, these carpets will be completely dry. I will say this, that I don't actually smell anything anymore. I just smell the nature's miracle. So hopefully by doing this, I get rid of the smell, because you have no idea how bad it is. So let me put you on time lapse. I'll show you the gross stuff that's coming out of this, and enjoy the video. So this is after just one quick pass. Looks a whole lot better. Most of the dog hair is gone too. It's really disgusting, the stuff that's coming up. So I'm gonna do the other side, and then I'm gonna flip the whole thing over. I gotta be careful because those plastic pieces, I might have to staple them sooner or later. But it looks a whole lot better. So once I flip this over, I might set up some old totes so it's not laying on the carpet. Try to scrub it, or not laying on the concrete. Try to scrub the backside if anything needs scrubbed. And then flip it back over, sweep everything, and then I'm gonna do a final pass again. I might try a little test area with some Purple Power and see if I doubt I can get this much cleaner. And I don't want to keep putting chemicals in it. So let me get the other side. I'll set you guys up on time lapse again, and then hopefully by tomorrow night around this time, I'll set this out tomorrow if it's nice in the driveway, and hopefully by tomorrow this can go back in the car. I'll have to pull the seats back out, which are just sitting in there, and then I can start putting it back together once I clean everything. I've got to get this stuff off the floor. So hopefully not that many more videos of the interior, because I want to be done with this. I want to move on to fun stuff, but spoiler alert, if you did watch this far into the video, I am going to be putting a motor in this. It's probably going to be a JDM motor, but the EJ20X or the Y, I think I'm leaning towards the X right now, but that is down the road. I'm in the process of selling my house, so I'm not trying to pull this motor out and do anything until that is done. And once I get moved to the new house and the new garage and stuff gets settled, I will go ahead and me and my brother are probably most likely going to pull this motor ourselves, and I'll throw the other one in. And then of course do stuff like the rear main. I'll probably do an oil pan gasket because every Subaru leaks from there. I'll do valve cover gaskets, and of course, since you gotta change some things, I'm of course doing a timing belt and stuff to it. So, but let me get the interior done first, and that's other videos down the road. Okay, so the padding in the back of this carpet had, especially on the passenger side where the window is missing, had a bunch of water in it. So it wasn't dirty water, but I'm sure after a while it would stink. So I'm going to set this, I'm going to do one last sweep to it until it goes back in the car. And then I'm going to go ahead and do one last quick scrub of it. It's probably going to get scrubbed again before everything goes back in it. But tomorrow, as long as it's nice, which I need to look at the weather, this is going to go out in the driveway and I'm going to let it dry. Hopefully it can get the padding. Like I said, the garage isn't that bad. I do honestly think that it should dry overnight, but I'll do one last sweep, one last scrub. All the gross stuff's already on camera, so I won't make you guys watch that. I'm probably going to have to get one of those, I think they're called a lily brush, to get pet hair out. The back driver's side area was really, really bad. And even though it looks worlds better, it still does have some pet hair. So I'm gonna do one last quick scrub of it and sweep, and then I'm done for tonight, and I'm gonna let it dry tomorrow, or all night tonight, tomorrow in the driveway. And then hopefully it'll be good to go. And then I'd like to start putting this thing back together. I'm tired of stepping around stuff. It's like landmines out here. So let me do that. I'll show you what it looks like. And then for tonight, I'll be done. Okay, so last video for the night, I actually went over the carpet 3 times, and it probably could use it one more time, but I would say 95% of it's out. So like I said, there is dog hair still there. I sucked water out of the padding underneath, so I think it looks really, really good compared to what it was. I'll post a picture of what it looks like when I started. And I've already emptied this once. This is the last time that I just sucked everything up. So I definitely think it's a lot better. So I want to get this dry hopefully tomorrow, and then the seats are just sitting in there. I'd like to start putting some of this stuff back and clean everything up. Like console's sticky, the glove box is sticky, console's sticky. What else is there? The kick panel, the dash, everything's kind of gross still. So I actually might do a small sample of the dash tonight and then I'm done. It's pretty late and I'd like to shower, so actually I'll do that. I'll wipe down just the passenger side with some Simple Power and a rag, and then I think I have some Armor All or Meguiar's Dash stuff, so hopefully, I can't tell if this is in good shape. I know it's not sticky. I had to replace the dash in my Legacy because it was sticky. So hopefully this isn't it, because I'm not doing that again. I'll just put a dash cover on it. So I did just a quick job on this side. I don't know if you can see it or not. It definitely cleans up and it's not sticky, which is good. However, I'm probably gonna have to find something a little heavier duty to soak in there. It's literally, it feels really, really dry, like it hasn't had any a long time, but it does look good. So more mold and stuff I get out of here, the better the car is going to smell. But that's it for tonight. Like I said, there's the carpet. Hopefully that all dries. Looks fantastic. Still need to get some pet hair out, and I might scrub it one more time once it's in the car and just put a set of cheap mats in so I don't mess it up. But it's coming closer to getting ready. Once I get moved into the new house, time to buy a motor. So till the next part of this video. So I'm going to try to wrap this video up. I'm going to show you all the hard surfaces that need wiped down, and then I guess I can show you all the plastics and stuff that I have outside of the car, but I'm not going to show you a detail of every single thing. So I'll show you anything that is left in the car that I'm going to scrub down, and then I need to start putting stuff back. The padding is slightly damp on that side, but it's not bad. So I'm gonna put a heater in here later and see if I can get it to dry out. Plus the windows are staying open, but or I might even not put that side back together. And then just work on getting everything else cleaned up. So I'll start with all the doors, and then like I said, I'll show you what they look like after. So this one's really gross. I don't know what's on it, but I did clean up this side of the dash tonight. Or last night, but the rest of that. Still got to clean up there, all of this, and there, the gauge cluster, the steering wheel. This side's not that bad. I'm still gonna scrub these seat belts, but we go to the other side. Right here is going to be cleaned, and I think, yeah, there's tape residue on there, and on the seat belt. All the windows still, this plastic part of the hatch. So, like I said, I'm not going to show you all of this, but I did scrub this door. And this was the better of them all, and the rag was black. So I'm going to start putting stuff back because I'm tired of stuff being everywhere. And I mean, if it still has a stink, I'm going to get that ozone machine, and hopefully that will take out anything that's left. Everything's getting scrubbed down. I have hot water and Dawn dish soap, and I'll probably, once everything's wiped down, I'll probably go over it with a steamer. But let me get most of this back together and cleaned, and I'll do one last final walk around of the outside and inside. Okay, so a small update. Like I said, I haven't been showing every piece. I will show the rear seats and the front seats whenever I decide to do it. And I'll probably do a time lapse of the entire thing when I decide to steam it. But I wiped everything down on that door, on the front one. It looks like there's still a little bit of crud up here, but overall came out. Starting to put the console back, and dash has been wiped off. Gear shifter looks a whole lot better. Steering wheel looks a whole lot better. I don't want to put the sill plates back in yet because I want to scrub these seat belts, specifically this one. Oh yeah, it's nice. So, but I would like to get the console in, and as much else stuff as I can get in. I'll probably try to work on the rear panel here, both sides tonight. I'm not putting the glove box back. I know you can Actually, I might put the glove box back. You don't need the glove box out in order to change the cabin filter, so I might do that. But the pile is starting to get smaller, and I can actually walk around in here now. So I'm gonna finish the console. So let me show you what a little before looks like of it. And then leaf. I'm gonna try to scrub all that and get that plugged back in. All of that deliciousness. So let me get that put in. That'll be a huge thing to get back in the car. Let me get the glove box, and slowly but surely, it's going back together and smells good and it looks good. I will say this, dash actually has a couple marks on it. I know it's a used car, especially it's a 2008, but I'm not sure exactly what they did. Like there's a mark. There's a couple marks. It looks like there was a cat in here. If it bothers me later on, I'll get one of those dash covers, but everything's cleaned up really nice. Looks good. So let me get the console, put the boot back on for the e-brake, and make sure I plug that in. And then I'll show you an update before I put the console in. Okay, so center console is cleaned up. Like I said, everything's still getting steamed. Gonna start working on the dash, got everything back around the shifter. I want to finish this part because I'm trying to get some of these parts up off the floor. But this is the cabin filter. I already ordered one. I don't know when it's going to get here, but that's delicious stuff people are breathing in. So anyway, I'm going to throw that away. I'm going to push the plastic piece back in. And then when it gets here, it's one less thing I got to worry about. But I'm going to continue cleaning stuff up as I go. And it is taking a little longer than I'd like, but I'm trying to make sure everything's clean before it goes back in. The door definitely still, I don't know what was on this door. This one still has some stuff on it. So I'm going to leave the car air out tonight as well. But definitely getting scrubbed one last time before everything goes back together, including that seatbelt. So today is part of the weekend. Like I said, this has been going on way longer than I wanted to. I just wanted to finish at this point. So I haven't necessarily been filming everything. I'm sure nobody really wants to see me put every little piece of the interior back together, but my stockpile of parts is getting smaller. Today, I would like to start, I don't know if it focuses, I'd like to get back on the hatch area so I can get, those are pretty large panels and I'm worried about them falling and I want to get them cleaned up anyway, but got that one over there and I'd like to put all this stuff back in. And then I think that is what's holding the majority of the smell. So that, and that's the bottom part of the seat. But let me show you what I've got done. Like I said, this is not a final clean. This is just, I'm trying to get as much put back in as I can. I have cleaned everything with hot soapy water, and I'm gonna go over it with the steamer, but everything's back in at this point. There's no more white mold on any of this. Even the dash looks better. Just the dash I'm worried about. Even with some Armor All, I'm worried how it's gonna turn out, but interior is actually in really good shape. Still gonna scrub all 4 seat belts because I'm sure they're gonna hold smell, and I think, yeah, there's a bee's nest still back there. So I might try to watch some videos on how to detail a headliner because I've never done that. But let me get some of this stuff back. I just wanted to show you what the back panels look like. This one is the worser of the two. This one is the one where the window was actually opened. So I'm gonna clean both of these. I'm gonna probably try to scrub the carpet. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with the carpet fabric on it yet, but I am gonna wipe everything down at least. So let me get both of these cleaned up and I'll put them back in the car and then show you what they look like. Okay, so I'm working on finishing, get the rear seat in and all the hatch stuff cleaned up. If you can tell on the time lapse, there is a lot of chemicals going into this. So in case you're wondering, I am scrubbing this multiple times. First time I'm pretty much just loading it up with chemicals. I got some of that Nature's Miracle carpet cleaner, and I'm actually spraying it down with Purple Power too. So there's a bunch of chemicals going in it, but off camera I am scrubbing it multiple times until any of the water that's coming out is clean and there's no bubbles or anything like chemicals coming out. So I promise I'm not leaving it that way. This is, again, still need one of those lily brushes, but there's some stuff in this that is not coming out. I've went over it multiple times, so I'd like to find just a mat for back here, but it's getting there. Once the rear seat goes in, I can finish up the hatch completely. Still need to clean the seat belts, get some of the tape off the pillar, but it's coming along. It's almost back together. And then once everything's back together, I gotta steam everything and then Armor All and I guess leather care cleaner. I have some McGuire's in a bottle, but I'm gonna try to get something that's better. This stuff's been open to the elements, and I don't even know when it was cleaned last before the window was broke. So let me finish this up and hopefully I can get this put all back together today. Okay, so this is the progress that I got done today. Everything in the back has been wiped down. Carpet's been cleaned. There is pet hair still. I need to get one of those lily brushes, but everything really looks good back here. Like I said, everything's still going to get a final scrub down, but it's starting to look like a car again. Still need to get some of the tape residue. That's not mold, that's some cleaner. But all the gross stuff on this came off too. It does suck, the armrest in the middle is broke, but that's okay. So I still need to clean the bottom part of the seat, which let me show you that. That part, and then honestly, that thing stinks worse than you can imagine. So that definitely still needs scrub too, but I will have a video of that. But the cleaning part of this video is coming to an end. Sorry I didn't film everything after you get to a certain point of doing this. I don't even know how many hours I have into it. At this point, I just want to get it back together. I still need to schedule an appointment for Safelite to come out to get the window done. I still need to get the tape residue off the seat belt, a little bit off the seat, off the paint on the outside. Still need to find a gas door, get the tires mounted, and then while I'm waiting, I am in the process of moving here shortly, so before I actually pull the motor out of this car, I'm probably gonna leave it as is. Even with rod knock, it can move under its own power, so I might just fix mechanically everything else around the motor. Like it needs brakes, it needs tires, sway bar bushing up front. So I'm probably gonna do all that stuff first, and then I'm undecided on the motor. I thought I was going to do a JDM motor, but I started reading a little bit, and it sounds like that's a whole process. So I'm kind of leaning towards getting a block from Subaru, sending the heads out of this, and then, getting a gasket kit, do a timing belt, do everything in that way. But I don't have an answer on that yet. Main goal is just to get it back to the state of where it's good up to the motor, and then I'll go from there. But that's going to wrap up today. I'll have one more video. I'll probably do a time lapse of the back seat and then one last final clean of everything, and then I will show you what it looks like with clean windows, everything Armor All down, and then hopefully it doesn't stink. The garage doesn't stink anymore. I don't smell anything inside the car. I think it's going to have a slight smell to it still, and then I'll get the ozone machine, but it's coming to an end. I really need to get the spare tire off there. It's ugly looking right now. So this is the very last video of the cleaning.
I'm gonna walk around. There's a few things left I have to do, like still attach the rear seat belts, put the rear seat in. There's a little bit I need to go get Gooby on and get it off the pillar. There's a little bit on the seat belt, and I think undo all the windows. I still haven't armor-alled anything, and I still need to do some leather cleaner on the seats, but this is about as done as this car is going to get as far as cleaning goes. I have probably at least 10 hours in this video, and it's not all in one day because I've had to do stuff off and on. I work and I have a child, so it's not like I can just do a straight 10-hour day. Some of the door sills, hatch still needs, like around the door sills and between the doors, still need clean. And I still need to get safe light up here for the window, but this is pretty much done. So everything's back in, covers back in. All this stuff is for the airbox and stuff. It's not going back in yet. However, let me show you what everything else looks like. There really isn't a smell, which, yep, hit that off the pole. Hopefully it didn't do anything. There's no smell inside. I can slightly still smell it just a little bit, but overall, compared to where it was, whole different car. Back seat looks good. Carpet looks good. I did order a lily brush, so when that gets here, I will be getting the rest of the pet hair out and sweeping it. Door panels look good. Front seat. That seat is a huge improvement. The dash. So it all turned out very, very good. Like I said, body still needs scrubbed in between the doors. Like, well, there's a bee's nest, for example. You can see all the junk down in here, and like right there from sitting on the mirror. But like up there. Overall though, this car turned out really, really good. Once I get the window, of course, like I said, I'm getting the ozone machine I'm going to put in there. I have a cabin filter that just showed up today because the other one was really gross. And, but yeah, everything else is baby spider, in case you're wondering. Everything else is really, really good. It came out really, really clean. I need to put some stuff on the seats because they're really bad shape, but that's pretty much it for this video. Next, I need to, obviously I'm not going to do a video of that. I'm going to get these wheels sent off. I'm probably going to have the TPMS sensors removed and just put regular valve stems in because they're going to break anyway. So I'll have a light on in the dash for that, and there's still a light for the airbag. I don't know why that's on. I was reading, I know the map lights in these throw airbag lights. I need to get a code reader for it. But turned out really, really good. I was hoping to show, spoiler alert, I was supposed to get a free 2009 Subaru Outback non-turbo. And the woman told me she thought it needed converters, but she didn't want anything for it, and it was actually cleaner than this car. And that was a baseline. It didn't have, painted door handles, painted mirrors. Had different wheels, and it was brown and had tan cloth interior. So I was waiting on the call. It doesn't look promising, and I don't think I'm getting it today. But that was going to be another video. I was going to get it just for some parts or whatever. If I could fix it, I was going to flip it or drive it myself, but looks like this old girl's still getting a motor. The plan was always to put a motor in this. I didn't want to not put one in this. So that's enough talking. This video is probably like 2 hours long. So if you've watched up to this point, I really appreciate it. Sorry that I missed out on some of the stuff, but after a certain point, you just want to get the car back together. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like the video, do whatever. Comment below if you think I could have did something differently, or you can help me out with anything. And thanks again.